Okay, hellos, YouTubes. Thank you for watching my. I guess this will be a deck profile, but it's more like a training video about how to use Magnolia. This is Stoic Chaos's Wild Beast deck. It features Magnolia as the main vanguard, and there's no other three in this deck, so we'll just continue. The ride line is these 4 units. Your starter is your cat. You ride into your, I would say this is a Snorlax and Bulbasaur combination, which is nice. And then it gets tricky from going forward. Once you ride into your grade 2, your grade 1 kicks off, and you flip the top card of your deck, call it to the field. If it's a normal unit, which is anything that isn't a trigger or an order, it goes to soul. So if this is a normal unit, then it goes to the field. If it's a trigger unit, it goes to the field. So for instance, if I were to use its effect, anything that isn't a order is into soul. So any normal units. So these are all units in general. So any unit will call to the field. Anything that isn't a unit goes into soul. So like something like this would go into soul, like an order card. So for the skill for this, when ridden, any of these is a potential target for it to go off with. When you hit from 2 to 3, on the other hand, it's the same skill. However, if it's any of these units, as mentioned before, instead of going to soul, it goes to your hand instead. So basically, if you get an order card, it goes to your hand. Everything else goes to the field. So yeah, there you go. That's the 2-in-1 lineup. At least to call free cards. So that's the ride deck. Now for the actual main deck cards, you have your Magnolia. Nothing too strange about that. This does have a little bit of more cards than normal. This is from Festival Collection. I run 2. This deck has 3. I'm not going to be picky. This is what the deck has. So what this little doggo does is it's a grade 1 booster with 1500 attack and no shield. And you call this behind Vanguard, like so. And then you swing for a big number of 28, or you swing for 13 and then 20 for using her ability. We'll get to her ability later. Next card up is your PGs. You run the Planetary Prevent Dragon because if you have 1 or less card, this is free. And it's from the booster box. The other grade 1 you run is the order card. Not sure how many copies. This deck has 3. But what it does is just revive something from the grave and call it to the field and give it +5. That's it. If this is being called by this effect, it goes into soul. If it gets called by this effect, it goes to hand. That's what I mean by when you're written on top, or your skills wise. And then from the grade 2s, for now, this is in set 1, so for now this is your best target, your teddy bear. You run 4 of the teddy bears. So what does this teddy bear do? It sits in the back, it looks pretty, and you target this unit by this card's effect to give it to the back attack from back row, and whatever power it has, if you have enough counterblast, you transfer its power to another unit. So something like this. And then say you have 3-4 face-ups. So you swing. Say you drive check into this. We'll put 1 more damage just in case. So you drive checked into your over trigger. You do the entire effect off, which is a free heal. You give a unit crit, front row 10, and then you draw a card. Oh, you draw 2 cards. You draw for this, and you draw for the over trigger, so it gets banished. And then your second check. So you give the million power to the teddy bear. You give front row the 10k power, and then you go with a crit, I guess, or a crit somewhere else. You can put the crit here, it's fine. The Magnolia skill, you counterblast 1. You give this unit the ability to attack from back row. So teddy bear swings for 1,000,000 power and a crit. You counterblast for his effect. You give the 1,000,000 power to this unit now. So if we indicate it by dices, so Magnolia gives this unit +5 for its skill. You give the 1,000,000 power to here, and then you counterblast 1 to give the power to this unit again. Then you can, well, assuming that you persona, right? Then everybody gets the ability to attack from back row. Then you swing, you counterblast, you give everything to another unit. Sure. And then you swing with her. So something like this is just an example of what the teddy bears can do. Assuming you have enough counterblast. Anyways, that's the example I had. So that's the teddy bear for you. Next card is your order card, Ghost Chase. Basically what happens is if you're being attacked, a unit that you like is being attacked, you can Ghost Chase it out, and it will, you give a unit +5. So assuming it's like this. So you're, do I have any in here? There's another 3. Okay, cool. So for instance, if your opponent attacks this unit, but you want to keep it, you activate this, you return this to your hand, you give this unit +5, and the redirected attack goes to this unit instead. So therefore it'll be 10 to 18. Right, +5. So 10 to 18. This goes to the drop zone, and your card that you protected returns to your hand. The Ghost Tricks is a Blitz Order card. So Blitz Order can only be used once per turn. Similar to Order cards. Blitz is during your opponent's turn, so not your turn. The Order card, as I mentioned, during your turn, once per turn. The only exception is this guy, but we'll get to him later. Next is trigger lineup. I guess in this case, this deck just wants to go rainbow. And then the over trigger is the universal one. There's no draws in here because this is your draw. You want to have multiple swings as much as possible. So I guess so. A crit for fronts and 4 heels? Sure. Why not? And then the cards that you can take out, in a sense, are like these 7 cards. Since set 2 is out, a lot of cards in this gets replaced. But since this deck is pre-set 1, or set 2, we'll just use whatever here is available. So, starting off with the grade 1 is this bug. One place you give another rear guard +5. So it has to be rear guard, so you can't power up Vanguard. So if you have another current unit here, you call this, you give this unit +5. So it's just like a small boost, temporary boost. This Tigers is just a 15 beat stick if you have 4 or more units. So if it's like this, then 4 more units +5. 4 more units +5. 4 more units +5. So there you go. If 1 is missing, then they don't get the effect. So you have to have a full board in order for the Tigers to go off. If one of them goes off, or one of them is missing, the full power doesn't go off. Other rear guards, yeah. But this is the best thing that they have in the trial deck, so that's what they're using. And then this Flower Girl. 1 place from hand, you counter blast, you soul blast, you revive from the drop zone, call it to the field, and gets +5. So basically, this and this is almost the same thing, but this has a heavier cost than this. And that's Magnolia for you in a nutshell for now. So if we try a couple of hands. This deck kind of just wants a bunch of attacks. That's the goal of the deck, besides looking cute and pretty. This deck is heavy rely on its persona right in order to go off. So if you don't have another 3 in your hand, you kind of sit here, look pretty. You can still poke at your opponent, but it's not very useful in terms of what you can actually do. And we'll show you. So 5 card hand. So no 3s. 4 back. And we got a couple repeats, that's fine. So the goal is to get at least a 3 in your hand. Alright, so draw for turn. You could technically ride from your hand, but you lose cards in this zone. So you want to get rid of a card that isn't going to be helpful later on. You could technically ride to this, but you want your ride chain more often than not. So you'll discard the bug to get you your grade 1. The reason why you're discarding the bug is because potentially you can revive it and give another +5, another unit +5. Take 1 damage. Off for turn. You want to discard the lowest shield value in a sense. So basically this is out the door. But you want to keep this in case you call a trigger from the top deck. So this teddy bear is not going to be useful. Activate skill. It's okay if it's a heal trigger. You can push it back. And then you swing. If you're being attacked for 10, you can go Ghost Chase. This comes back to hand, and then +5. For 1 turn, it disappears. And then you take damage. That's fine. There's 3 more copies, but this is important. Now you go with a low shield value. Sadly, it's going to be a heal because you want to keep this in your hand, ish. So this comes out, and then you're 3. This and this is the same thing. The difference is this is soul based, so you soul blast 1, and then call a unit out. Unfortunately, this doesn't get the full effect because you need another rear guard, so he can't power up himself, sadly. So he gets scooted down. You attack, you twin drive. You can go crit power. You could technically counter blast to get this unit ability to attack, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You don't have another 3. Let's say, for instance, you do Persona Ride. So you Persona Ride, you draw a card, Counter Blast, you Soul Blast, you take a card from the drop zone and call it to the field. Give it +5. Because you have Persona Ride, front row is +5. Let's modify the deck a little bit so he show you what the potential of this deck can go off. So you swing for 23. I guess you can put them on power to 2 units. you draw, this gets banished. Right. So you swing for, activate skill. You give a unit +5 and you target 3 units in the back row. Ability to attack from back row. So 5, 5, and 5. So you go 1,000,000 and 5, 15. And crown +1. Transfer 1,000,000 power here. So this goes to 1. You attack. Counter blast. You attack. You use his skill. So last one. Your attacking phase. This goes up by another 10. This is the smallest number, which is 28. And then you have another 1,000,000. There you go. That's Magnolia in a nutshell. Assuming that you over trigger and you have 2 teddy bears. If not, that's fine. You can use other units as well. But this is up to prior to 2. When set 2 comes out, or when set 2 is in this deck wise, this gets yeeted out. Your ride line stays the same, so nothing changed here. This teddy bear may be at 2. What else is out the door? This is out the door, and maybe 1 or 2 copies of this. Other than that, that's about it. So that's Magnolia for you, in an essence. Thank you for watching. If this is helpful, let me know down. If there's anything I can improve, that'd be nice as well. You can comment down below. Let's see what happens. The next person that I'm going to be going into, or to update, I guess, or to talk about, is Bastion. Keter. Anyways, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.